3 terrifying true horror stories that will expose the dark secret of KFC. These stories are scary and disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. The first story is called The Late Night Turnaround. I was working as a cashier at KFC 1. I was a college student working part-time at KFC to pay for tuition. For 10 years, I worked at KFC, always striving to be a manager. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Finally, I was promoted, but not for the reason I expected. My night shift was going well. The restaurant was busy, but suddenly a hooded man entered. He stood out because he visited every night, ordering the same thing, 20 chicken wings. He never spoke and always wore the same hoodie. One night I saw him enter the restaurant without paying. I saw him pull something from his pocket and drop it into the food warmer. Curiosity got the better of me. I leaned closer and realized it was a finger. I must have passed out because the next thing I knew, I was shaking. I told myself it was probably just a really realistic prosthetic. Then I felt something wet and slimy on my hand. I screamed and backed away. Standing before me was the hooded man. "Are you enjoying the special treat?" he asked, his voice raspy. "What did you put in the chicken?" I asked, horrified. "My dear boy," he said, reaching for another finger in his pocket. Just then, my manager walked in and greeted Mr. Cornelius warmly. He asked, "Oh, just great," I replied, unable to tear my eyes away from the finger in Mr. Cornelius's hand. My manager joined him, and they both started digging into the chicken, their faces lighting up with delight. "Care to join us, Marcus?" my manager said, gesturing to the chicken with a smile. "I think I'll pass," I said, my voice trembling. That's when I made my horrifying discovery. What I thought was a finger was actually a human finger. I could see the bone and the flesh still attached to it. To secure my promotion and continue working at KFC, I chose to become an accomplice. It was a typical job serving chicken and fries with a smile. But one day everything changed. A shipment of chicken had arrived. It smelled different, like a blend of spices and herbs, unlike any we'd had before. Our manager, whose secrecy was unsettling, decided to remove all spices from our recipes and just serve plain chicken. Sales shot up immediately. Everyone was obsessed with this new bland chicken. I thought it tasted okay, but I couldn't understand why customers were going crazy over it. But there was more to this story. Within weeks, the customers changed. Their eyes were vacant, their skin pale, and they seemed to be craving more chicken than ever. Some even started foaming at the mouth. I couldn't shake this feeling that something was wrong. One evening, my coworker and I discovered the truth. We found a small bag of white powder hidden in the chicken shipment. We knew then that the manager was lacing the chicken with drugs, turning our customers into addicts. We confronted him, but he just smiled, handed us an application, and said, "Join me or leave." It was after 1 a.m., and the only customers we had were 2 young boys. One looked about 12, and the other no older than 8. They came up to the counter and asked for some chicken. We had just cleaned out the fryers, so I told them we didn't have any fresh fries. "No problem," said the older kid. "We'll just have to number 10 meals." As they sat down, I noticed they had brought in 2 huge duffel bags. I thought it was odd, but I didn't think much of it. When their food arrived, they started eating in silence. Then the younger kid spoke up. "Hey man, I'm really hungry. Can I get another piece of chicken?" The older kid grabbed him by the neck and whispered something in his ear. "No, shut up." He turned back to me. "He wants another piece of chicken." I gave him another drumstick and watched as he shoved it into the kid's mouth. Was this some weird KFC fetish? I tried to shake it off and focus on my work. Then I heard a commotion by the door. It was the manager. He walked over to the kids and I saw him get up and empty his pockets. "You know the drill," said the manager, taking the weapons that they had brought in and handing them a bag. "Don't forget what we talked about. he said, locking eyes with me. That's when I knew. This wasn't just a normal KFC run. These guys were here to rob the store, and I was their first target. I fought back, bit the kid in the face, and ran to the back of the store. That's where I found the baseball bat. I came out swinging and hit the second kid in the head. Then I went for the manager. I don't remember much after that. I think I blacked out. I woke up in a pool of blood with the manager kneeling beside me. It's over. He was holding a bloody meat cleaver, and in front of me were 2 duffel bags filled with weapons and money. The manager took off his mask. It was the 12-year-old kid. "You should have stayed down," he said before lunging at me with the meat cleaver. The second story is called The Addictive Secret Ingredient. The third story is called Finger Licking Good, or something worse. All of these stories are true. Have you ever experienced anything similar? Share your story below.